Linda Sousa with lindasousa.com, enjoying the journey, and wanted to show you a few helpful tips today on some of my food prep. I know I have a number of videos out there on food prep and meal planning, and in fact I did a really quick Facebook live video yesterday. We went food shopping and got a few things, and I came home and kind of went through some of those ingredients before I had to actually get onto a team call. I'm part of this amazing group with some of the superstar leaders on our network, in our team, and they're doing a level up leadership training, and so I had to stop that in order to go on to that call. So I put away a few things, I showed a few things, and now I wanted to just follow up on some of the things because I needed to make sure that I took care of these things so that I'm ready for the week ahead. I like to, sometimes depends upon what's going on, how busy the week is, what my schedule is like. I may make meals ahead of time and have them all ready and do that for a Sunday prep day. Most often though, I make things in bulk and then I put it in the fridge, and then I do fresh things for dinner to add to that. So I'll do a lot of the vegetables, I'll wash the fruits, I'll do those sort of things ahead of time. So that's kind of what I'm going to show you today. When we went to the supermarket yesterday, I purchased a number of things. We love our cauliflower mash, but cauliflower, we use it for a number of things. We use the cauliflower to make a cauliflower puree. We use it in stir fries. We use it raw. I roast it. I love to roast cauliflower with fennel. I didn't buy any fresh fennel, so I don't have that little mixture going on today, but during the winter months, that's really awesome. It's delicious. But I am going to prepare it and get it ready in the fridge, so that way when I come home from work, I can just decide, okay, this is what I'm going to make today, and I have a lot of stuff already prepped and ready to go, so I don't have to spend time preparing it. It just makes things so much easier. Same with some of the fruits. One of the things that I did make, and you'll see it in another video, I made the butternut squash mac and cheese. I bought 3 of these to save myself some time instead of buying the whole butternut squash and then peeling and cutting it up. Sometimes they come in a little basket that have them already cut up. Sometimes they're not. I found them at the market the other day like this. They're already peeled. They're sliced in half. They're wrapped up. I used 2 of them for that mac and cheese, which is right there. And now for this one, I love roasted butternut squash. My husband is not a big fan of butternut squash, and he's not a big fan of roasted butternut squash because he's not a big fan of the butternut squash. So I'm going to prepare this, so then during the course of the week when I'm making vegetables, I will take this and maybe a sweet potato, which I'm not going to prepare ahead of time and not do today, but I'm going to cut this up and put it in a container so I have it in the fridge. So when I'm ready during the week, all I have to do is put it in a bowl actually, coat it with a touch of olive oil, some nice cracked black pepper, and some Himalayan sea salt. Toss that up, put it in a pan, roast it in the oven, and the flavors just come out. It just caramelizes, and it is so delicious. And butternut squash, I love it anyway. I love it, pureed, all mashed up, or like I said, roasted. And I don't want them in too tiny of a piece, but I want them to be able to cook, and I want to try to get the slices, as evenly as I can, so that they're going to cook at the same time. And so what I'm doing now, there we go, cut that a little bit there. And I'm not sure that they're all going to fit in here. I have baggies. I love the Ziploc baggies. I also tend to love the glass containers as opposed to the plastic. And I do use a lot of the plastic, but I love the glass containers. All right, these I think I'm going to just go with here. And see how simple this is? It gets this all ready. Obviously, I can't leave it cut up like this too long in the fridge, so I'll be making it for certain earlier in the week rather than later, but I don't feel like roasting it today and having it in there cooked already. You could do that. You could roast it, put it in the fridge and have it all ready, and then all you have to do is heat it up. I prefer not to do that. That's ready for me to go. During the week, if I decide, okay, now I want to do as a vegetable some butternut squash, I do exactly what I suggested to you earlier to do. That's all set and ready to go. That's going to go in the fridge. Next in line is my cauliflower. Love, love, love cauliflower. Now this needs to be washed. And actually that needs a little rinse as well. But I also don't do that with certain things until I'm ready to use them. Because I think they keep better sometimes if I leave them as they are until I'm ready to use them, and then I'll wash them. And something like cauliflower, or cauliflower, however you want to say it, if you get the organic, and this is not organic, but if you get the organic, it is obviously better. Sometimes it is a little more expensive. Vegetables and fruits that, have a thick skin, it doesn't matter. I shouldn't be cutting it that way, and so I shouldn't be showing that to you. Obviously you want to be very careful when you're cutting up these things. And I really don't have a need to cut them into very small portions. I just want them enough so that if I want to do a cauliflower mash, that's gonna be easy enough for me to do. If I want to add them to a quick snack, that they'll be easy enough so that I could have them raw. If I want to add them to a stir fry, and I just want to take out all that green stuff that's in there. These I'm going to put into a plastic baggie, and I'm going to take some of these larger ones, and I am going to cut those in half because I just want them to be easier to work with. And again, like I said, this all needs to be washed. You can't just take this out and then use it. You need to wash them. And you can put a little bit of vinegar in the water to get, there are different solutions actually they sell that you can use to help with washing vegetables and fruits. There's all kinds of things. I tend to just simply use water, rinse it very, very well, and use a little bit of vinegar. I don't use too much because I don't want the taste of the vinegar to get sucked into my all my food. Not a massive fan of vinegar. So here we go. Here's one. But now it's actually going to take up less room in my fridge than it does as a whole bunch right there. If I was going to use it right away, I wouldn't even bother doing this. But I'm not making any cauliflower mash this weekend. We don't have, usually a lot of times we'll have people over, and so there's a little black piece right there, and I don't want to put that in the bag, so I'm just going to get rid of it right there. And here's another one. Okay, so there's one head. Usually when I do the cauliflower mash, it takes two. So here's one. Throw this right into the sink, and I'm going to start with the next, but I won't do that on camera because there's no need to take your time for me doing that. But I'm going to do the same thing to this head that I did to that one for that. Next up is my beets. I'm actually really not going to do anything with these but wash them. These because I just don't like leaving them in the fridge like that. But I'm going to wash them, and then I'm going to dry them really well, and I'm going to put them in a little baggie. Now these we may end up having this weekend. This kind of would be like my little garbage bag. I'm going over here to the sink, so not sure if you'll be able to see me. I have one of these little brushes. You can use it for carrots, potatoes. I'm not eating the skin of these, but I just don't want to leave them in here with any dirt. So I'm just giving it a really quick rub down to get any loose dirt. I ended up buying these, there we go, and I'll use this. I ended up buying these beets already cut without the greens on them. You can use the greens. The greens are great. They are a little bitter, so you've really got to cook them well. And what I'm going to end up doing with these probably is roasting them. You can boil them, you can throw them in a pot, put them on the stove and boil them, peel them, quick and easy, or put them in the oven and roast them. I actually have the oven on because I have a pork butt in there with some nice Cajun spices on it, a nice rub that I made in an earlier video, and that's cooking, still cooking in the oven. So the oven's on, so instead of putting these on the stove, I will probably actually cook these today. These are ready to go. And you know what, maybe I think I did a video on the beets, but I will show you how I'm going to prepare them. So why don't we do that real quick? Because it is simple and it's easy. I used one of my this belonged to my parents, this very old pan. And I use it as the base of a lot of things. It was in my parents' house. Used it as a kid growing up. I think I made lots of chocolate chip cookies on that when it was nice and clean and brand new. Not so much anymore, so nothing ever goes on it directly ever. But I do use it as the base for a lot of things. So here we go. So simple. Beets. One of our favorites. It's a definite staple in our household. Now those are going to go in like that. I am going to put just a touch of oil. And that's it. And now I'm going to make a little pocket. Because I'm going to steam them. Kind of. Roast them right inside there. That's it. Those are my beets. And I have my pork in there. I'm going to just take my beets and put them in. Another prep basically done. When those are cooked, they'll come out. I'll peel them. I'll put them in a little glass bowl, probably whole. And that'll be it. That's it for the beets. So what's next on our agenda? Well, I do have a cantaloupe that I want to do, and I have a pineapple. I also have something that makes my life really easy, and that is a store-bought rotisserie chicken. They come in really handy, and you can do so much with them. I like to disassemble and cut them up and put them away when they're nice and warm, because they break apart and they come apart really easy. They're so much easier to work with than when they're cold. But I didn't have the luxury of being able to do that yesterday. And I don't want to leave it like this, because I like to have it so that it can be something that really very easily we could eat as part of a lunch or part of a snack. I can make it part of a soup, part of another dish if I need to add some chicken to something. So I'll show you how I break that apart. I'm sure you probably have your own way of doing it, but since I'm doing my little food prep right now, I'm going to do that here. I do want to, before I do this, put a, let's see, well, let's just use the one for the chicken. Just like different color things over my beautiful cutting board that I had. I love this cutting board. This was made for me by my niece Caitlin. She handmade that board for me for Christmas. That was pretty special. Very, very, very special gift from a very, very special young woman. So I love this cutting board. And of course, every time I use it, I think of Caitlin and her talent and her beauty and her goodness. So this is really simple. And I usually just moth and break it apart just with my hands. There we go. But you know how they add these little strings. So, here we go. So I'm not going to cut this up into pieces, but I am going to get rid of this center bone. There's a little piece down here that's kind of like the, I forget, there's a name that they call it, but it really is yummy when you get the nice, fresh, hot chicken. And I take off the skin. I don't always take the skin off though when I put it in here. Sometimes I'll leave it just to keep it nice and moist. But there's bone obviously in that. But there is the thigh. Here's some nice meat. And I'm going to take out this breastbone right there and take that off. There's a lot of fat there. I'm going to leave the skin on there to keep that nice and moist. And we have the hind quarter of the leg, so I just pull that off there. That'll probably end up becoming just meat that we use, so I'm going to get rid of that bone. And then there'll just be just meat here. Obviously you got to be careful. You don't want bones in your chicken, but usually I just cut it up into four. I quarter it. I just quarter the chicken, put it in there, and then we can either have it with a salad, put it in a sandwich. There, no bone there. Take that skin off. And then we have the rest of the breast here, and since I've got this right here, easy enough to take that bone out. And I am going to take that skin right off, make it a little bit easier. I'm not too fussy about it right now because I'm not using it. I just want to get it out of the package and get it stored in the fridge for easy use later. That is the object or the objective here. So now I'm going to take this quarter right here. Boy, they really wrap this one up. Sometimes they're so easy to come off and sometimes they're not. So I want this bone out. That piece right there comes out so nice and tender. Usually come back from the store as I'm pulling them apart. There's one on each side. I take one out and give one to John, and then I have the other one. We have a little snack. All right. So I told you that in my oven is pork, and that's all I'm smelling right now. That pork smells phenomenal. All right, this is meat, and that meat's going to go right there. That's meat too. Nice dark meat, actually. And I'm going to just work on getting rid of this skin, and now of course it's becoming all slippery and slimy. All right, that's good. So there's breast. Here's another leg quarter. There's that. There's a wing. Take that wing, get rid of the string. Leave that wing there. And I'm going to get rid of this. See this rib right here. And a little bit of that. Get the meat. Get rid of this. Then we'll put this in the fridge, and this will be another easy go-to. Now there's a bone right in here, and I want to get that out now, but it's giving me a little bit of a hard time, so I'm gonna just keep going on this here and get to that. There we go. And get that out. Get that little kind of wishbone thing. There we go. And now get this bone, but there's still this bone right in here. Kind of like part of the wishbone is what it is. There we go. And I want to make sure that I get that out. And I'll keep any of the meat that's from that. And there's still some bone here. And I'm going to pull that out. This isn't completely deboned, and we know that when we're going to go to use it. But we've got most of it out. And got it cleaned off. There's another breast. There. So pick up, it's a good fragment. That could go in salad or a soup. And that is done. Rotisserie chicken from the store. All set, all done, all ready to go. Need to wash the hands now. And I'm going to remove this. So we still have our nice meat board. Put the cover on that. And we have something else ready to go in the fridge, right? Not too bad, we're just moving right along, right? Okay, what's next? Let me rinse this off and let's do a pineapple. I find that if I don't cut into the pineapple relatively soon, that it will sit there for a while, and then sometimes it'll go bad, or it goes back bad pretty quickly. I do have to say, having been to Kauai in Hawaii, no pineapple I've ever tasted here even comes close to as delicious to the ones that we've had there. So now, if we were having people over or doing some sort of a a get-together, or even for my beloved and I, little wine and cheese or little appetizer platter. This really isn't a good one. It's not in really great shape, but these make such a nice little presentation in a fruit platter. I'm tossing it. I have no need for it. I know I've seen some YouTube videos where they make pineapples grow. Don't know if that really works. Not a clue. But I'm going to cut into this one because I want to get it all ready. Now, we love pineapple. We like it as part of us as a snack, just to eat the fruit itself. We love it as part of our Shakeology, and then often we'll eat it fresh, and then we'll take it, if once we have like a serving or two of the fresh pineapple, whatever's left over, if it's been in the fridge for a few days, I'll take that, I'll throw it in a baggie, I'll put it in the freezer, and then we add that to a Shakeology frozen. So we can either add it to our Shako fresh, or we add it to our Shakeology frozen. Either way, we prefer frozen fruits in the Shakeology. So that's how we do that pretty often. Take off the base. They have pineapple corers. They've got all kinds of stuff out there in the market to do all kinds of things. For me, it's really simple. Doesn't take very long. Cut it up. All different ways to core and slice a pineapple. Whatever way is comfortable for you is comfortable for you. I probably have too many of these little things on the back on. I usually try to get them all off. I'm doing it really quick. I'm doing it on camera, so I'm not really paying as much attention to detail as I might, but I'm not so worried about it right now. I'm going to get this off first, and then I'm going to take a look at a small knife and see about maybe just getting some of the those off. This one's really the one that's got quite a bit. Let's see, it's kind of slippery. And I'm not going to mess around with it too much. So, what do I do next? Go down this way, that way, and then I'm going to cut it into chunks. Decent sized chunks. Put them in a glass dish or bowl. I'm not sure what's going to fit. And then my pineapple is prepped, done, ready in the fridge for me to use however I want to use it. I saw a recipe for grilled chicken, I think in mango or chicken and pineapple on the grill. You can skewer this with some chicken or with some pork, put it on the grill. Absolutely delicious. Give a nice sweet flavor. Pineapple goes great with pork and with chicken. I'm thinking it's probably too much for this, but we're going to go with it here. Woo. And I can't resist. I think I might have to taste it and see how this one is. It's good. Not as good as the ones in Hawaii, but it's not bad. It's good pineapple. I like it. So I'm going to have two. I think I'll use this and this one for my pineapple. Can you hear that banging going on? We're doing some home remodeling, so my beloved is upstairs right now working on remodeling one of our rooms, one of our bedrooms, into, well, it is a bedroom that we kind of took apart. It had the horsehair plaster and the slats up there, and that was all exposed. So he has put sheetrock on, put the walls on, redone the whole room, painted it, painted the trim, and is now just doing the finishing touches, because we're going to take that bedroom and make it a bedroom again, and move our second bedroom into that room, and then take our second bedroom and make that room a home office upstairs. So that's that little banging that you hear in the background. Okay, so here you go. We've done a few things. That's going to go in the fridge. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to finish the rest of my cauliflower, put it into another bag, put all this stuff away, and when we come back, I'm going to show you how I prepare scallops. And I'm going to cut my cantaloupe, and then I'm going to prepare those grapes. So we'll see you in a bit. So, back again, and I have some strawberries and some grapes that I've washed really well, and I've actually taken the stem off of the, or just cut that off of the strawberries, and I want them to be dry before I put them in the fridge because they'll last longer. I have some of these little stay fresh containers that I can use to put, you know, berries and things in, and those work fine, but I do tend to prefer putting them in a glass container, and I put a little bit of, I put a paper towel underneath just to kind of absorb some of that moisture. And these are pretty much dry. They're ready to go. I don't slice them unless I'm going to be using them relatively soon. So what I'm going to do is just take a few of them, put them in a layer in here. I don't really want to overstuff this, but I probably will end up putting all of these in here. And what I will do is use this to dry off any that I feel might be a little wet, because I really don't want these to get, I don't know how you say it, a moofy, moldy moofy, you know, to get, to go bad quickly. And I tend to think that the fruits that we buy these days, they don't seem to last. I don't know if it's the humidity. I have no idea what the cause is, but we tend to go through it a lot quicker than I'm used to. So I take a little more care, keep an eye on it obviously, and then if I'm not using it and I get to a point where, you know, it's been in the fridge for a couple of days, and you know, I'll take some, cut it for what I need, and then I'll take the rest and I throw them into a baggie and throw them in the fridge. So that I know that they're nice, they're fresh, they're cleaned, and they're good to go. So for me, this is my strawberries, which was just a container from the market, and now it's all set, and I'll put that in the fridge, and that'll be good to go to be a part of, you know, a salad, a nice spinach salad with some strawberries. It could be a part of you know, some yogurt, any number of things, just a little snack on its own with some yogurt, some berries, and these grapes, they're colossal. They're huge. So these have all been washed really nice. I've cut them down pretty much. Another thing with the grapes, and I don't know what it is, if it's in my head, I like to leave them, if I can, for the most part, attached to the stem for as long as I can. I feel like they stay plumper and juicier attached to the stem, but some of these had come off, and I'm really trying to just get this so that I can you know, cut. Let's see if I can see that. There we go. So these you can put in a container as well. I am just really going to, with these, put them in like this, and again I want to get as much of the water, get them nice as dry as I can to put them in the fridge, because these are a great go-to, easy healthy snack. You know, some people freeze them, put them in the freezer, and then they're a wonderful snack too. So all right, so those, that can come off the stem. The rest are all, these are all going to be off the stem. There we go. And those are ready and good to go. These are just beautiful. They're really nice grapes. And I'm going to just cover them loosely and put them in the fridge. So that way they're handy, they're easy You want a little snack with some, oh, look at those. There's 2 right on there. It doesn't need to be. Take that off. I probably should just loosen them all. Look at that. They look so good. I'm going to have one. That crunch. Something about the crunch of a nice sweet grape. These are really nice. I'm going to put a little loose cover over those when I get ready to put them in the fridge. And that's it. Simple, easy. Back from the market. Able to just get those ready and put them away. All right, so what's next? So this I've had in the fridge. So I'm hoping that this is in good shape, but it's not feeling like it. Yeah, I guess it's all right. There we go. It looks like it's a little old because I have had it for, let's see. Actually, before I go through the trouble of cutting all this, I'm going to taste it and make sure. No, this is good. But this is not the way I usually do a cantaloupe, but this seems to have its own little issues, so I'm going to make this one, do this one a little bit differently. Just get rid of that. If you have a little bowl, you could like put this right into the bowl instead of on the cutting board. And we'll do this one whole. And I'm going to put that right into my trash. There we go. Now, let's get rid of this. And then we're going to quick peel it. I don't like seeds. I'm not sure that anybody does, but I really just don't. I don't like those little errant seeds that are around. So sometimes I find it easier to cut my cantaloupe with the skin on and then peel it. So that's what I'm going to do here. And this is not the freshest of cantaloupes, so it's not going to peel as easily as one with that's fresher wood. Bought it and I put it directly into the fridge because the day that I got it, it was very, very hot and humid. This is not part of what we purchased yesterday when we went to the store. So I've had this in there, and this needs to get cut up and eaten. This could be put as part of Shakeology. We can eat this on its own. It's a nice fruit salad. So many different things that you can do. This is a great appetizer with prosciutto. That makes a great dish, something nice to bring for a party or a barbecue. Obviously, I've washed my hands. I wash my hands a lot when I'm cooking. My hands are in and out of the sink. I think I'm going to cut this one more time. So now with this, I can leave these whole like this if I want to, or I could cut them into chunks. My husband likes them in chunks. They're easy access. Just go have a snack. I'm not going to do them in too small of a chunk. In fact, I think I'm just going to do them in half. And I'm going to put those in a little, I could put those in a little glass dish, put them in the fridge, put them in a little Tupperware, put them in the fridge, and then that's it with all of my fruits that I wanted to do today. We saw the pineapple earlier, we've got some grapes, we have some strawberries, we have some cantaloupe. I actually have a couple of nice Asian pears that are in the refrigerator, and those are great for a snack, great with a salad, wonderful with some kale or arugula. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in a little bowl, get all this stuff off the counter, put it in the fridge, and then we're going to come back and I am going to show you how I prepare and get my scallops ready. So we'll see you in a bit.